what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
We'll try not to like too much talk over each other, but again, we are girls and we are.
Agree to disagree.
Okay,
Moving on.
well, make it bottle. Looks like a cracked out T-bird from Greece.
Yeah, I can
You
see
know,
that.
she's got that black hair.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Chick Chat. It is that time of the month. I don't mean it like that, but it sounds like I was saying that. But it is a girly show, I guess you could say that. It is time again to chat, I guess. It's been a while. We are back. Welcome to the September episode. My gracious, it's the end of September.
It's October for all intents and purposes.
For all of us working people, it is October. We are already thinking about November. Let me put it that way. Yeah, I can't believe it. Next week's going to be October.
Yep.
So, welcome back. Happy fall. Hope it's going well. I have one of my favorites, the girl here today, my cat, my diamond baseball diamond doll, I guess you could call her. Kathryn is here.
Hello, everybody.
Excellent. I'm so glad you're here with me today because we're going a little one-on-one. We are flying solo in the studio today, and I kind of like it that way.
If anybody ever wanted to be a fly on a wall, we are broadcasting being fly on a wall.
Yes, which this is cool. I am so anxious to hear what you have to say about some of the topics that we've talked about or that we are going to be talking about today. As a reminder to everybody, I don't tell anybody the topics beforehand, typically because I don't know them until beforehand. I sit around and play on my iPad and get some topics pulled up of things that have come to my mind. Or
Man,
that
I thought
people
I
have
had a
planned.
cool job.
Well, this is true. You know, I do. It's pretty cool. I mean, I'm sitting on the air on a Friday afternoon with my girlfriend sitting around. All we're missing is margaritas.
Cocktails. Exactly.
Absolutely.
5 o'clock somewhere.
We'll just take part in that later.
I like that.
Okay, good. Okay, so coming to you from Hickory, North Carolina, once again, beautiful fall time right now. It's nice and chilly in the mornings.
Had
So
every intent
good.
this morning of going to exercise class. And
How'd that go for you?
Yeah. Woke up and the bed was nice and cold. The windows were open and right back to sleep.
Yep, nice and cuddly.
Another 2.5 hours.
You've been very lucky lately to have some Fridays off.
Yeah, we have an amazing boss. And after the season ends in minor league baseball, he gives us the Fridays off in September. So
It's beautiful. Minor league baseball is where Kathryn works here for the Hickory Crawdads.
I do.
Our local
I do.
team, which we just love going to and hanging out with our favorite Crawdad crew over there. Lots of good people over there. Lots
So
of
much
good
fun.
Good. Okay, so we're going with the first one. We're just gonna throw this one out there. I'm gonna say 2 words, and I want your first reaction.
Oh, I can't use swear words either.
I can bleep you out if
Okay.
necessary. Miley Cyrus.
I knew it was coming. Yes.
Yeah, I am embarrassed about the picture on my iPad right now that it's even on here. If the government is tracking me right now, they're covering their eyes.
There's some signals being sent to
This-
I saw that with the Kardashian sisters.
This is the picture from with the Kardashian sisters. Miley is wearing nipple pasties.
black nipple pasties.
Yeah, which is even worse. A black and white sort of pair of underwear. That's not really underwear. That's a
Body
little more.
fishnet stocking.
In a dress made out of fishnet and some fur on her arms. I don't get it. But and there is a turtleneck for covering up your neck, you know. So it's gross. Whatever. I don't find the dress any attractive at all.
I saw the picture. I don't know why she was with the Kardashians at something, and I remember seeing the picture on. I'm like one of 6 people in the world that still use AOL.com. My email address is KathrynBubble@AOL.com, and so I get on. That's where I get my morning news is from AOL.com,
yeah.
and I saw the picture, and
Okay, so let's back up because I haven't had an episode since Miley's little incident.
You haven't? Okay.
As we should say incident, I guess, because I'm anxious of your opinion on this. Kathryn is single, no kids.
Yep.
And younger than I am, whippersnapper of the table, if you will. Now, okay, VMAs. She comes out and dances, does one of her songs. I'm assuming it's her song. I don't know any of her music.
It was.
Okay.
It was. Yep. We
so
can't
it's
stop.
her song. She's got her little performance going on. Then she goes out and, takes off a little bit of her clothes, has on like a, skin color?
Yes. Yeah.
Like boy shorts or something?
Yeah, it's kind of a little retro, high-waisted, flesh-colored.
And then she begins to just stick her tongue out a lot and dance awkwardly,
yes.
I thought. Okay.
Yes.
Then she begins to sing Blurred Lines.
Robin Thicke comes out.
Thicke.
Yes.
And he comes out in his Beetlejuice outfit.
Yep.
and dances with her.
Yes.
And then, they're done. And the audience faces were priceless.
Unbelievable.
Will Smith with his children.
The still shots of the Smith family.
I love it.
Unreal.
That could be one of those posters that you hang like for encouragement in your office, where they have the white words written underneath. Yeah. I am... It was just because everybody at home was thinking and doing the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
hands down.
I will tell you straight up front, I don't care for her. I mean, I don't really know when I have cared for her. I didn't grow up in the Hannah Montana era, so I never really watched her show. She did some of that Nicholas Sparks movie stuff. Whatever. I did, however, grow up in the Achy Break Your Heart days.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
Her daddy.
Little daddy.
Yeah, played into my life. But so I don't get her really, like, whatever. However, I also don't get Lady Gaga.
Yes.
I don't get a lot of these
the pomp
people
and the circumstance
because it's
and
not my lifestyle.
Yes.
I don't know. However, why is this performance at the VMAs and this reaction from everybody so extreme? I mean, we got people like Lady Gaga, freaking Madonna back in the day. I mean, still to this day, Cher. All these things have been happening for years. This is nothing new. Why is this getting such a freak out from everybody? Because it feels like this was just extreme reaction from everybody. What are your thoughts on that?
You know what? I think it's certainly a combination of things. I think it was almost kind of a perfect storm type deal. Singing Robin Thicke's Blurred Line song. If anyone has seen the first time I saw that video, holy cow! I was actually sitting, right, and then and no one knows the words. All we do is just go around going, So yeah,
and then you say what rhymes with hug me. That's all I know.
Yeah,
you're the hottest in this place. That one. It's all the lines I know.
That's all I know.
Yeah.
And I think the combination of that video, the combination of when I first saw that video for We Can't Stop, her song, I mean, and I am very much a progressionist. I am definitely for everybody expressing themselves. I lean pretty far to the left when it comes to these types of things.
Yes.
And my jaw had dropped open.
Right.
And when I saw her video, I was squirming. Yes.
She makes me uncomfortable.
And it's just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And she certainly hit a note with people. It was just a combination of things. Those giant bear backpacks.
I don't get that.
And it's just it was a little too odd for everybody.
Do you think it's because she has a Disney background?
That's certainly a factor. But I think even if she didn't have that, if she
Britney Spears does. I mean,
exactly.
Britney came from Mickey Mouse Club.
And I think even if she wasn't, I'm a little old for the Hannah Montana era. So, I mean, obviously I knew about it. And then I did see the stuff with, is it Liam Hemsworth that she was engaged to?
Until like a couple weeks ago, like right when they after officially VMAs.
Yes.
She calls it off.
And so I did see that where she played like the sweet little troubled youth who ends up finding her way. And
yes, that's what the last song or something.
Maybe this is her just finally finding herself.
Maybe this is the real
Miley being Miley. Yeah.
Which honestly, she was not born as a Miley. She had her name legally changed. Come on now.
So I'm in my seats kind of.
Oh, I know.
Still,
I'm a little awkward. Yeah. It's a little uncomfortable even talking about her because I feel like she's really young, but
it was
I don't feel like I should be seeing her like this. And like she got that cute little haircut. I kind of dig her.
Her little blonde shave on the side. Yeah,
that's cool. But this whole like sticking out her tongue thing and what they call twerking.
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember, Kathryn, when we learned what twerking was?
Yes, I do remember that night.
We heard it on the radio. And we researched.
That's it. We were heading to an arts festival for children.
Yes.
We heard this word on a XM radio station.
Yes.
And Mary-Margaret was driving. I was in the passenger seat, and I decided to Google twerking.
And then come to find out.
I'm just now remembering we shared this.
Yes, we were there together. And then whenever we came back, we were at a function together and found out everybody knows
what twerking is.
But we did not. Even that song that came out, in the 90s, early 2000s, I guess, is Whistle While You Twerk. Was it twerk? I've been singing Whistle While You Work all these years, but the rap song, I honestly thought they were just quoting that.
Yeah. Snow White action.
I felt used a little bit. I mean, I didn't get it. I mean, maybe if I would have bought it and seen the CD cover, but it was apparently Whistle While You Twerk. Well, I read a quote saying that Miley said, and she's going to be on the cover of maybe Time Magazine or
Holy Shnikes.
Maybe not Time. It's something big
something
like that. Yeah,
notable.
It's not Us Weekly type thing. She's going to be on the cover of some magazine coming up that she posed nude for. Esquire, maybe? I don't remember.
Maxim?
Maybe. a good call. I'm looking it up right now because I want you to see the picture. I mean, it's a tastefully done picture, but except for her.
Maybe she just says still such...
Rolling Stone. I'm sorry, Rolling Stone.
That makes sense.
Which is on the cover, which went through the controversy of, remember the bomber?
Yes.
The Boston bomber.
And they had his picture up there.
And everybody flipped out.
Yes.
I mean, I get it, whatever. But now she's going to be on there and the picture, you'll just have to look at it. I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to see your reaction on air here.
Whew.
Yeah. She is nude coming out of a pool, licking her shoulder.
And definitely day after eye makeup.
Yeah, it looks like she wore a whole bunch of makeup in the pool. And then it ran everywhere.
Yes.
And she's got lots of jewelry on, and her tattoos are showing, and
it's what you would expect.
It's what she's all about right now.
Yeah.
Right. But she did say in there, she was like, that she wasn't really trying to be sexy on this VMAs show, that she was trying to be a little silly.
Yes, and I think that was definitely accomplished.
Check and check.
And it's not even sexy. It was more brazen and to like a zealot form of...
I don't think people thought it was silly. I thought people thought she was being vulgar.
Yes.
You know?
I can't believe more didn't come from Robin Thicke. That he basically like was up against the backside of her and then walked off stage and he was done.
I know.
I can't believe, especially for something having a wife and children, and that was...
And your dad is the dad on Growing Pains?
Yeah, right.
Hello. Everybody knows that's like one of
and
my
you're
favorite
grinding
shows
on Hannah Montana.
Ugh, gross. She refers a lot of things in this Rolling Stone article. I'm going to be very interested. I'll probably read it because she comes out being like, I guess I'll never do that dance and never stick my tongue out again. She's like, because people freaked out over it. She's like, why are they freaking out? She's like, Brooke Shields played a prostitute when she was 12 years old in a movie, and this and this. And I'm basically getting up on stage and being a performer.
Yeah.
So is this okay, performing? I mean, I made a note about this topic because I was listening to XM Radio again the other day, and they have the decade channels.
Yes.
80s,
90s, 90s, and 90s,
yeah. If you listen to the 90s channel and you have a 6-year-old that's riding in the back seat that can read your screen that tells you the name of the song, I Want to Sex You Up, followed by I Touch Myself, pose some questions.
It's a bit of an issue.
Yeah. And so I'm kind of like, okay, you know what? When I was growing up, granted, we were wearing high-waisted jeans. We were watching 90210 and Full House and, big hair and vests and excess of clothing, if you will. Yes. But yet we're listening to songs like I touch myself and I want to sex you up, followed by like a virgin and these things. What makes this different now?
I just think I was just thinking about this. I'm a big Glee fan.
Yeah,
big Glee fan.
Glee.
Did you watch it last night?
No, don't tell me anything yet.
Oh, okay. Well, that kind
Is this when Corey Monteith is...
No, they haven't gotten there yet. No.
This is not his
This
tribute.
is about Blaine and Kurt.
But he's not on it, though. This is a new season
Correct.
that they had not filmed when he was before he passed away.
That is correct. It's about Blaine and Kurt and being a gay couple. And I was thinking about things, and I was like, you know what? I wonder if this is. I'd kind of likened it back to like the 50s and 60s when my parents were growing up, talking about they remember when there were separate water fountains.
Yes.
And I kind of feel like this might be my generation's version of that.
Yeah.
And how now we look back 50 years ago, that was insane for people my age to think that existed.
Yeah.
And I think maybe 50 years from now, I'm hoping that we're going to look back and say that was insane that love was being defined by people.
Right,
and
absolutely.
maybe that's kind of where this is going a little bit, except it got there a little bit quicker. The artists and what's going on. I'm thinking maybe we've reached kind of a limit.
Pinnacle?
Yes, yes, an apex, and maybe we're going to start backing it down a little bit.
That would be nice.
You certainly never know. I mean, with Lady Gaga and again, how accepting people have become nowadays.
They have. Well, see, she caused a big stir at the beginning, but now really it's kind of like they expect that from her and it's fine. But they also realize her talent. She's classically trained. She plays all of her instruments. She writes her own songs and all that stuff. Do you think that has anything to do with Miley's stuff? Because is she talented?
That's the thing. A coworker and I were talking about Taylor Swift the other day and how, as an artist, she has a lot of gifts. As a vocalist, maybe.
Right.
I mean, some folks.
But that's probably why people like her, despite her sound. Correct?
Exactly.
Doesn't matter how you sound.
Maybe
you're
Miley's
a good performer.
got that same thing going on, but just in a different way.
You think?
And so where she has...
Did you just compare Taylor Swift and Miley Cyrus?
Oh, I did. Girls, if either of you are listening, one, that's pretty freaking cool. Two...
Sorry, had to go there.
You apologize.
We needed a comparison somehow.
So I just maybe, like you said, we've reached a pinnacle, and maybe we're going to come back down. And
so you're saying that there is still hope that high-waisted jeans will come back.
Oh, hands down.
Still a hope, right?
Hands down. Break them out, Mary-Margaret.
Absolutely.
Still hope you have them in your closet.
Why not? Everything circles back around. The decades and all that jazz, that all circles back around. Yeah.
And I think she just... And you know what? She's in her early 20s.
Maybe she's just letting it all out there so that she can... Now, think about Britney Spears. We didn't bring her up a minute ago. But, Britney went through some pretty dark
umbrella wielding, head shaving.
Yeah. She had some moments, and now she's kind of bounced back from that. She lays low a little bit. And, she does show up. She's got a new song out, I think.
She does.
So it's definitely, she's coming back around. And it's sort of the same Britney. She's not like singing gospel or anything now, but we all now
10, 15 years.
Everybody kind of forgets about it a little bit.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. And that's one thing. In our cult, the shock and awe factor for us is definitely our resistance to that.
Quick turnaround?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think that has to do with social media, too.
Yeah.
Because as soon as the next thing comes about,
boom,
you can spread it super quick. And it's not a fad that has to catch on.
You scroll through 47 headlines at one time, and it just, it all kind of gets lost in the shuffle.
Oh, my God. I love it, right? It feeds my, need of just to know everything about it.
Sometimes you have to put the device down.
I know. Stop stalking. Stop stalking, Mary-Margaret. Stop it. Speaking of, well, no, this is not vulgar. Maybe it is in some people. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Oh my God, they announced the 50 Shades of Grey cast. Yay.
This was, wow, I'm 2 for 2 on guessing.
You were guessing what we were going to talk about because, well, like I said, we haven't had a show since we talked about this. We've discussed the candidates, if you will, over the past several months. But as people may remember, I read the 50 Shades of Grey books. Did you read them?
I have not, and it's not a personal choice. Right. I honestly, I'm not that big of a reader. If someone gave me the books and said, "Here you go," I would gladly open them up. I just haven't taken the initiative to go search them out.
But obviously, you know about it.
Oh yes.
We had a special episode dedicated to 50 Shades of Grey on here. We had special dramatic readings done.
I wasn't on that show. I was on the show when we talked about the cookbook, the chicken.
The chicken thighs of Grey or something like that. Yes. So the cast has been announced, or the main two characters, which, let's face it, who else really needs to be in the movie?
There are other people than those two.
There are in the book, but I couldn't tell you their names. We're I don't know. We've talked about all the people that we wanted and we pictured in the past. And then there's been other talks of other people that have come around. And Charlie Hunnam was announced as Christian Grey. And people may know him from his Sons of Anarchy days. Still on Sons of Anarchy. And see, now this picture, I don't care if the government knows I'm looking at him, because
no shame.
No shame at all.
Right.
I'm okay with this.
See,
he is I will be honest, he's not my first thought whenever Christian Grey is in my head. When I'm reading a book, I am very visual. I was not a reader for a really long time.
Yeah.
And then kind of started realizing I needed a little outlet of just escape sometimes, and I very much so have people in my head that I see while I'm reading a book.
Yes.
And he
very
was
visual,
not it.
imagine sets, and
He was
yes.
not it.
Oh, no. A little too rugged for Christian Grey.
He's a little too rugged, a little too blonde. I didn't picture him.
No, dark, tall, cheekbones, jawline.
Right, very GQ.
Yes.
Esquire-esque.
Skinny black tie.
Yes, exactly.
Tapered
Charlie
suit.
Hunnam and his Sons of Anarchy leather cuffs are not what I pictured.
Yes.
However, I ain't mad
We're
at
not
him.
opposed.
I ain't mad at him because
Christian Grey can wear a black wife beard all he wants.
I don't care. I don't know if anybody out there watches Sons of Anarchy, but I do. And I have seen enough of Jax on that show to know that he will be able to hold his own.
Oh, yes.
As Christian Grey.
Yes.
I think he cuts the hair.
And that's going to be a big part of it. Oh, yeah.
He doesn't have, obviously the Sons of Anarchy tattoos are fake.
Yes.
So those aren't on, which we're not used to seeing him without.
Yes.
So
and is he British in?
He is British.
And I think that definitely lends a bit of refinement.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, Christian Grey's not British, so they won't do that. But I think he has the ability to
transform in a way that we certainly have never seen, and there are far too many women out there that are way too excited for this. It's going to be awesome.
Agree. Yeah. So, and did you know that Jax / Charlie was got a start on Queer as Folk?
What?
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Show? Okay, it's like an HBO show, right?
Yeah.
About gays and lesbians. And he played a young
no way
homosexual man.
Huh.
Right. Very young. He was like 16 and 17 years old.
So he's got the spectrum down. He'll be fine.
He's basically told people, look, I'm not worried about the scenes, the sex scenes, the talk, the language that has to be pulled off with it, just the sex appeal that has to be pulled. He's like, I'm not worried about it. He's like, been doing this since I was 16.
Yes.
And it was with men on camera. And he's not a homosexual man in real life. So his acting ability is there.
He's good.
And he's like, y'all say what you want to say. I was in Queer as Folk.
And I don't care who you are. You know what you look like. He's going to be fine.
I think he'll pull it off just fine. So speaking of pulling it off, Anastasia Steele will be played by Dakota Johnson, who is, I actually mentioned it on the Chick Chat Facebook page whenever they started buzzing around about it, because she is Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith's daughter.
Yes.
The girl has the ability to ooze sex if she wanted to, because look at your parents. Like two 80s sex idols.
Yes.
If I've ever been able to pull them up anywhere. And good for her. She started out on a show called Ben and Kate.
Yes, and that's where I know her from.
Yes.
And she plays kind of a quirky young mom.
Yeah.
And that's and so when I found that out, was my background context.
You were associating her with that.
Yeah.
And I had seen her on that as well, but that's been a while, and I kind of forgot about her, honestly. But I've seen the pictures, and again, she's not really who I pictured either.
I feel like putting them together, though, if you had picked either one of the characters, how you pictured them, and you put them with whoever they cast, I feel like that wouldn't go.
Right.
I feel like those two are going to mesh well together.
I agree. Pun intended. I agree. I think this, now Charlie is 33 in real life and Johnson is 23.
Okay.
So he will have that experience,
Yes.
even if it doesn't look like it, whatever.
Yes.
Just, he probably can pull off a little bit more of that
A decade
experience,
more.
which does happen in the in the book. And I don't know, put him in a suit and tie and clean him up. Let's see what the boy looks like. I will watch the movie.
Yes. Oh, hands down.
I will watch. I will probably applaud. I will laugh. I will cry. I will share in the experience. But I'm very, very anxious to see how this goes. Now, I will tell you that I read the article after they announced it. When he finally started talking about this, because for a while they announced it and neither one of them talked about it. Except for Melanie Griffith. She went off being like, oh my God, I'm so proud of
my daughter. Da, da, da.
I'm like, I can't wait for my mom to be like,
happy mom.
yeah, my daughter's going to play the virgin that has a lot of sex. Yeah, I don't know. But he says, first of all, let me read you the quote that he says about being on Queer as Folk. He's like, my first job was on a Channel 4 miniseries called Queer as Folk. It was incredibly explicit sexual scenes with a man. I mean, I'm 16 and 17 years wiser now, so if I can do it when I was 18-year-old with a guy, I can certainly do it at 33 with a lady. I'm like, amen, brother.
That's
I hear you. I will support that. He said that whenever they did the screen test and brought the two of them
put the
in
two
to read
actors together.
He said that he had read with other people, she had read with other people, and they had both, made it this far in or whatever, and that the electricity was just
holy cow,
understood from everybody. He said it was just the weirdest thing, that's what he felt. They knew right away that the chemistry was there, that it was going to be easy as pie.
Then that's what people don't know too when they first hear the two people and you're like, really?
Yeah.
And then he says stuff like that, then it's going to be
bring it on.
Yeah.
Ready.
Exciting.
Yeah, exactly. Before we move on, and so that we can go splash water on our face, I'm going to take a break and breathe for a little bit after thinking about Sons of Anarchy.
I'm perched on my chair. I'm literally, my feet are on my chair.
Curled up in balls, waiting to go off the air so we can just relax for a minute. We are going to take a break and thank our sponsor, the Greater Hickory Kia Classic, coming to Hickory, North Carolina, October 14th, and it's going to be an amazing PGA round senior tournament. It's been coming here for years. We thank them for sponsoring the show, and we hope everyone that's golf enthusiast or not, just a nice sports enthusiast, will come out and join us at the Greater Hickory Kia Classic. We'll return in just a second.
Hi, I'm 2012 Greater Hickory Kia Classic champion Fred Funk. Please join us for the 11th annual Greater Hickory Kia Classic at Rock Barn, October 14th through the 20th. Watch me defend my title against a fantastic field of Champions Tour players. Weekly grounds badges are just $50. Individual tickets are $20 per day. Get your tickets today at the GreaterHickoryKiaClassic.com.
Thanks, everybody. We are back after a little relax. Thank you.
My hair's on top of my head.
Kathryn's getting some air and blood circulation back after talking about little Charlie Hunnam for a little while. I'm down to go see the movie anytime it comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Opening night, we're there, right?
And those tickets are going to be hard to get, honestly.
Absolutely.
Those are going to be hard tickets to get.
We have a show here on the Mesh, Foot Candle Films, and they review movies. And I tried one time, joking with them. I was like, guys, let's review Twilight. And they were like, hell no. I mean, that's pretty much what they said in so few words. Hell no. And they do superhero movies and of course Oscar winning movies and classics and things like that. I'm kind of curious if they're going to hit up the old 50 Shades of Grey when it comes out, or if they want me to be a guest on the show.
Right? Right.
I would absolutely do it. So
I wouldn't be able to get words out.
No,
I would just sit there and giggle.
I'd be like, well. And then Christian, he and then Anna, she You know, you get it, right? I mean, you know what I'm talking about? And then we just take pictures during the interview because our smiles
Faces
are so
going to be,
big.
I know.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to take another break. No. Speaking of other shows, I want to remind everybody that you're listening to The Mesh and that we're everywhere. We're on Facebook, on the internet, on iTunes, Stitcher Radio. We're on Instagram. You can follow us at The Mesh TV. Our website is themesh.tv, and email me, call me, let me know what you think, what you want to hear. Our voicemail line is 828-619-0048, and our email is info@themesh.tv. I won't put your name on anything that you don't want me to, unless you want me to say that, you know, unless Charlie Hunnam does want to respond to our show, or Dakota Johnson, whatever, I'll listen to her too. But if anybody out there wants to talk about him, we will be happy to.
Cell phone numbers can be provided as well.
Absolutely. I'm happy to have you as a host. I'll Skype you in. I will Skype your ass in. But anyway, thanks for listening, and thanks again to the Greater Hickory Kia Classic. All right, moving on to a little bit tamer subject, but something I know that you and I we already touched on it a little bit. Fall TV is back.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, summers get long.
Yeah.
With good TV.
Crappy television.
Yeah. I mean, Big Brother's the only thing I watch in the summer, and that doesn't even feed me enough. So
I'm a big USA freak. I like USA Network shows.
Okay.
So they go in the bit of an awkward network.
Do you like Franklin and Bash?
I have not seen Franklin and Bash.
I love Franklin.
The
Is
fact
it
that
TNT or USA?
No, that's USA.
Is it USA? Possibly TNT?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think so. I think so.
It's really good. You would like it. So the TV shows are back, and some of our favorites, they have been long-awaited returns. So I'm curious if you watch any of these, and I found a list of what people are saying the most anticipated returning shows are.
That's okay.
Okay, some of them I agree with, some of them I don't. Right. First one, and these are in no particular order.
Okay.
Mindy Project.
You know, I was so high on the Mindy Project when it first got going. That is, for not being a reader, I read Mindy Collins' her autobiography in probably a day and a half. Yeah. And I was in the Charlotte airport crying from laughter.
She's hilarious.
Yes.
Her delivery on lines is just
uncanny.
Brilliant.
And to communicate that through the written word is that's talent.
Yes,
just straight
absolutely.
talent.
Well, I haven't read that, but I'll have to read that.
My mom has it, so I can't give it to you. Well, I give it to her. I've been loaning it around.
But if you read it and you're not a reader,
I'll
definitely read it. That'd be awesome.
Oh my God.
So her show is back on the air, and they were starting off the season with guest of James Franco, which I'm a huge James Franco fan. Western North Carolina loves James Franco because he's gone to college here and taken classes here, filmed movies here. He loves him some Asheville, and we love us some Asheville. So,
and he's James Franco,
and he looks like James Franco. So, did you watch?
I did not.
I didn't either. You know, Mindy Project got my attention because it was after New Girl.
Which I love.
I love New Girl. That's actually like my next one that I was going to bring up.
Did you watch this past week?
They're now on different nights.
They are. Yes.
So I don't know if that's going to hurt or help because, like I said, I got hooked on Mindy Project because of New Girl. But now that it's on like a different night, I wasn't thinking about it.
To think and go, 9:30 on.
I'm thinking New Girl.
Monday, 9 o'clock. Yes. Mindy, 9:30. Oh, yes.
New Girl.
Did you watch this past week?
No, all my stuff's on Hulu right now. Is it so good?
I was laughing.
Yeah.
Pretty hard. My neighbors probably could have heard me at the ending scene.
So we know that Schmidt is now having to choose between two girls.
Yes.
And
that kind of comes to a head.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
So Schmidt, who, again, speaking of delivery of lines.
He was made to play that character. Just like Jake Johnson, who plays Nick Miller.
Yes.
He was born to play Nick Miller.
Jake Johnson is a combination of all my ex-boyfriends. Pretty much exactly the mentality and the way they act. I think I have a type, maybe. And they're like Jake Johnson. And
and you went from one to the next because
I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I mean, that show just cracks me up every time. Now, I have recently heard you say a quote, and I want to know if you still A, back it up, or B, was the alcohol talking.
Okay.
You said this might have the staying power of Friends.
No, that was not me. That was Michaela.
Okay.
That was not me. And I was the one that
Never mind.
I was the one that said, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay.
I think it's witty. I'm a huge Aaron Sorkin fan.
Yes.
The dialogue, witty, going back and forth. And I think they have a lot of that same characteristics.
Yep.
Friends just had a mass appeal that I think will just go through the ages.
I agree. So there was a group of us hanging out. We actually
Yes.
had girl poker night the other night. And
Which
we were talking
we
about
kind
the
of
show.
play poker.
Poker is the second part of our night. We usually have good drinks and good laughs. And our other friend, Michaela, who has been on the show before, she made this comment.
Yes.
And we all kind of paused and were like, I don't really know if that's the case. And I've thought about it a lot since then because I think that Friends had the following it did because of the time that it was out generation-wise. There wasn't Hulu. There wasn't Netflix. There wasn't people watching from your iPad.
Yeah. And you know what? That whole indie TV miniseries movie movement hadn't really got going yet.
Yes. This was exactly where, I mean, they were so true to, I guess, real life. It seemed like that everybody had somebody they could relate to.
As true as hanging out in a coffee shop at 11 o'clock on a Wednesday morning is.
True. But,
yeah.
you know, I mean, I think it's funny. Like, there was somebody that you could relate to there.
Yes, hands down.
Somebody. And like I said, people waited. There wasn't no DVRs when this first started out.
Thursdays at 9 o'clock.
I know. It was must-see TV. And I think that people actually sat down to watch that show. They waited for the next episode. I studied abroad when I was in college, and there was a girl who had studied abroad before me. So she knew what I was going through. It was like, I mean, you know, you're over there not knowing anybody or whatever. I was having a blast, but she knew that it's weird sometimes. So every week she sent me an email to tell me what had happened on Friends that week because they don't have Friends over there. And it's not like I can sit over there and watch on Netflix as soon as I return. This was 99. Didn't have that. Okay. And, I mean, we barely had email, you know, I mean, the email was logging in and hearing that, and then you got a little beep if you got an email. Yes.
You've got mail.
Yeah. And that was exciting because you were overseas and somebody was thinking about you. But she would send me an update every week on Friends. And that was the coolest thing because that's what people did. Only thing we got to see over there was South Park. That's the only channel they had in England.
I will never forget coming home from a softball game in high school and sitting, we still lived in our old house. That must have been freshman year. It was our last softball game of the year. It came home Thursday night, I'm sitting at the bar. Barstool's eating mom's meatloaf or whatever, watching the last Friends episode.
Oh my gosh.
I'm dirty. I didn't take a shower. I'm covered in mud in my softball jersey that was a non-negotiable.
Yeah. That was one of those moments you just remember.
Oh yeah.
I mean, where were you when Kennedy was shot? Where were you when you had the last episode of Friends? That's what it was. For me, I was also that way with Dawson's Creek. I can remember that with Dawson's Creek.
I was a little too young for Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, I know. Because the season finale of Dawson's Creek and 90210 was that same way?
No.
You were still too young for that. 90210 season finale, I can remember clear as day where I was doing, where I was sitting, and who I was watching it with. And same with Dawson's Creek. And it's just, there's certain shows that just hit you right at the right time.
Grey's Anatomy was like that for us in college. Our first and second year of college, we would pack. I mean, literally, there would be 15 to 20 of us in a dorm room. Yeah. And if you talked during an episode, you're done.
You're out.
Bye. And you're not coming back.
Yeah. You're not invited.
Nope.
No more invited. So New Girl. I love it. And people have heard us before. Jeanette and I love the show. Jeanette,
it is quirky for some people. I can see some people sitting there saying, this isn't my cup of tea.
But you know what? I'm quirky.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And people would sit there and say, you know who would like the show? Kathryn.
Yeah.
Kathryn would like the show. You're right. I love it.
I'd like the show.
My parents, our family, whenever we get together, especially now that I've been away for a number of years and my sister's in college, when we get together on Christmas or vacation or something, we have a TV series that my dad buys on DVD and we watch.
Absolutely.
And we sat in my apartment, the four of us in my little one-bedroom apartment when they were here back in July, just laughing our asses off at New Girl.
Yeah.
Because
it's just too funny.
Yep.
But it really does take a quirky person. To
It does. It really does.
So what you're saying is your whole family is quirky, right?
Oh, that's an
Yeah,
understatement.
yeah.
The Bobbles are an interesting bunch.
This is why I love you. The next one, I don't know if you ever watched or not, but it's How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, that was one I watched pretty religiously at the beginning, and then I got
Yes.
away from it.
Yes. Well, this is the final season.
I know. I've heard a lot of buzz about it.
And you meet the mother.
I know.
Okay. Which this is the first time since the beginning of their series that they have added a main character to the cast.
To the group.
And it's the mother, and it's only for the final season. And she's a Broadway actress. Her name is Kristen Milotti. And Miliotti, something. I don't know how to say it, but whatever. And yeah, so a lot's happened, and now you finally meet the mother, and you get to go on this season-long journey with them to find out like how it
That
happened,
might
what
be
went
one that
down.
I watch from season 1 all the way through.
I agree. I think that this is a show that will have, I'm not saying it has the same appeal as Friends, but the staying power afterwards. I can watch an episode of Friends at 11 o'clock at night on Nick at Night at any time,
you know what's
day.
going on. It's in the background. You're entertained.
I didn't have to watch
Yes.
the episode before it to know what's happening.
Yes.
Really. I kind of feel the same way about this. There's enough comedy and just silly things that happen throughout the show that don't have anything to do with the plot.
And I think that one is relatable. I know there's a lot of my friends that, like, if we're hanging out with folks or someone will say, you guys could not be more Marshall and Lily. You are
Right,
Marshall
right,
and Lily.
absolutely.
And and then having Barney, everyone knows that
Everybody's got
guy.
a Barney. Yeah,
Exactly.
I know.
So I think it is
And-
relatable.
And it helps that I love Neil Patrick Harris.
And PH. I
How
was also on
can
Glee.
you not like? Yes. How can you not like Neil Patrick Harris?
and Doogie Howser.
I feel like. Thank you.
Like, that's-
Doogie Howser.
Yeah.
Watched it. After
Oh,
the
yeah.
Wonder Years, that was like the show that I got
Oh,
to
yeah.
skip for late. How can you not like him?
Yeah.
He's super, super talented.
Crazy talented.
Absolutely. And I just love him. So, in this final season, he's actually getting married right now. And so that's
I've heard
another
that.
like big deal.
Yes.
Because everybody
Turning a page.
You know what I love is like the machoest of guys will quote Barney Stinson, even though he's obviously a character.
Yes.
He's got T-shirts, coffee mugs, license plates, everything that people are like.
Barney Stinson is.
He's a person to
Yes.
everybody. And Neil Patrick Harris is gay in real life.
Yep. I think
Yet
that's.
these macho guys
Yep.
are like going after this stud on the
Yeah.
show that is just brilliant acting. I love it. I love him. So that's exciting. I'm all about How I Met Your Mother. Nashville. Do you watch Nashville?
I wanted to watch one episode. I love Connie Britton. I remember her from.
Friday Night Lights.
She was in Wings.
Yes. Oh,
That's how I remember her from. And I'm not a big Hayden Panettiere fan. Okay,
but she plays a bitch on the show. So I mean,
exactly. So it's kind of okay.
yeah, okay to watch.
Right. I've heard a ton of good things about it. I just never carved out the time to sit down and
I
watch it.
watched it last season. Got hooked and watched it. I'm not a country music fan. You know this.
Yeah.
You and I have been in the Mexican restaurant where, oddly enough, they had a country music station on TV.
That was the night after we learned about twerking. Or no, that was the night we learned about twerking.
I learned about twerking and Luke Bryan in the same night. Do you need another break? Do you need another break? Remind me to tell you my Luke Bryan story in just a second. So, like I said, I'm not a big country music
The back
fan.
of my knees are sweating.
So, but there was a guy that I went to college with that was on Nashville. Yeah, so I watched it.
That's pretty
Because
cool.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
Hey,
watch
there he
that.
is.
Right, yeah. And, it's kind of cool. You
Yeah.
can see
Oh,
him
yeah,
there
yeah,
whenever.
yeah.
When he was on there for the first half of the season. And then, by then you're hooked. So
Yeah,
I just watched
the rest of it.
And he went to Army Wives then, which just got canceled.
You
last
remember?
week,
Yeah, I
too.
remember you telling me about this guy. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So, it's kind of cool to follow him on things like that. But of course, I got hooked on the show,
Yeah.
and then I watched it. And
Yeah.
now I'm like, great. Now I can
Yeah.
find out what's going to happen.
Another one.
Yeah. And now I'm hooked. But that one, I usually am a recorder on.
Okay.
Because it's like a 10 o'clock show. too.
Exactly.
I usually record it, or I we'll watch it like on delay online or something. But it's pretty good. If anybody wants, I honestly relate it to the Dallas.
I can see that. Yes, definitely.
Of our type of age. It's very dramatic.
Yeah.
To the point where you're like, that
It's
doesn't
exactly.
go on.
Exactly.
Okay? But they have that appeal to people that, this country music, whereas
I think it's shot really in a really neat way too. I
Absolutely.
mean, like the films and it looks really cool.
And they use a lot of things that people are very can relate to. The Bluebird Cafe, they mention popular artists a lot of times. So people are hearing things they understand and they're cool with that. So anyway, pretty cool show. If anybody ever wants a show to like pick up on Netflix or something like that, that's one to watch. The next one was Grey's Anatomy. Do you still watch it?
I don't.
Okay.
We after really our freshman and sophomore year of college, so 2005 and 6, we watched it, and then junior year a little bit, and then really after senior year it was.
Yeah, I used to watch it as well, pretty religiously, and then I just wondered how many freaking lives these guys have.
Well, and then once they started, like when George was gone, and then
George,
I know
that was like
and
around
then
the time I stopped.
when
watching
Married to the Sister came on. That's when we were just kind of like, meh.
Yeah, I was.
How
like,
am I remembering these things?
I know. Who are these people? I think that after the show does a great job. There's no doubt about it. No matter what the topic is, whatever. It's a good show. And how can you not look at some of the cast members?
Exactly.
Seriously, they're good looking. But after a while, I was like, okay, really? Why are you still working there? Everything goes down at this hospital.
Yeah, it really is. It's like a primetime soap opera.
This seems like the worst working environment ever. You need to leave. And of course, whenever it first started and I was living in South Carolina, our neighbors were doctors and they were married. And they were like, do you realize that if you went in the break room and had sex, you would be fired? They were like, this does not happen. And then at that point, I was kind of like, oh. I
have a show like that on ABC called Rookie Blue. It's about rookie cops. It's so bad, and the people are so pretty you can't not watch it. Right. But it's the same thing. It's like cops do not look like this.
No,
they do not look like they stepped out of the SI swimsuit.
Yeah, they were saying that if you went in the on-call room, that's what it's called. If you went in the on-call room, you are to go in there to rest, not to do anything else. It is strictly prohibited. This is no, whatever. And these people are married, and they work together. No, not getting any while you're on shift. So Grey's Anatomy, big lie, big lie. That's all it is.
Alert.
Yeah, big lie. Let's see what's next here.
Do you remember the one episode from Grey's Anatomy where they all were laying in bed together, the women, and they were just going, really? That had some staying power with us in college.
I could see that.
You come in, you drop your bag, and you just go, really?
I could see that. I could see that. And maybe that can be one of our next catchphrases now that I remember this. Really? I feel like I say that enough already. That's right, because I had kids. Really? Okay. Parenthood.
I loved Parenthood.
You watched Parenthood?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Again.
Well, I didn't know that you ever watched it.
Oh my God. I quit watching it. I was going through some crazy personal stuff right when Adam kissed the secretary. Yeah. And after that episode, I couldn't emotionally in me, dude, I couldn't take it from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock at night anymore. I was like, I have to
yeah,
I need to go. I need to switch to the Friends rerun.
Yeah. I've got to separate myself.
No, I loved Parenthood.
Parenthood has probably been one of my more favorite shows over the past couple of years because I am pretty much part of that family.
Oh my gosh,
that is my family. There's. I loved Parenthood, the movie, back in the day. And that's what drew me in at first because the concept, I thought it was hilarious, and I loved that movie. So that's why I started watching it. Plus, I'm a parent, but I am part of that family. I have two older brothers. So I don't have the 4 dynamic, but we all have
very different
personalities. Yet when you get us in the room together,
it's
the
all
three of us are just
there's just talking
tight,
and
funny, but we can give it to each other the right way, put each other straight. The other one can
and cousins and spouses are close too, it's all intermingled a little bit.
Our spouse, exactly. All of our spouses are close. Our spouses all kind of laugh about
you guys.
Yeah, it's just we have that family. And some of the comments that come from that show every once in a while, I have to stop and go, oh crap. They have taken a scene out of my life.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like that. The mom and dad dynamic with the kids.
And that's one thing that makes it so good. I mean, Craig T. Nelson,
Coach.
Lauren Graham.
How can you not have
exactly.
Coach being good on
Like the
anything?
patriarch of, I mean, and he's just plays that role to a T.
I love him, and I love Dax Shepard.
Yes.
I mean, it's just pretty well done show. Now, every year they never know if they're going to get renewed.
Yes.
And they were renewed again. It's like for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
They have had a closing episode
Because
for the season for the series.
For the series. Holy cow.
And so it's like the most gratifying thing to watch.
And
because
then
on a lot of shows you don't get an ending.
No, you don't. They're gone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Sorry, you got cut. We do this. So every year they do a series finale.
And then to be able to pick it back up again.
So you actually get closure, which has been really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm kind of like, I'm at peace. You know, I'm at peace at the end of your season. If you don't come back, I'm going to hate it. But you know what? I know what happened to you. That's all I want.
Yeah.
And then the next season, I don't care. They pick it right back up. You know, that's a darn good show.
No, I really liked it.
That comes back this week on
NBC.
TV.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm all about it. I would definitely be DVRing that one. Let's see if there's some of these. You know, I'm like, I don't really watch you because I'm not going to talk about it. Though. Okay, why is Top Chef and Vampire Diaries on here? Come on now.
No.
American Horror Story. Have you ever watched that?
Nope, never watched it.
Don't.
Now there's one. It's American
You won't
Horror Story
sleep.
Coven.
That's what this is coming off.
Yeah, even just the teasers for those are.
Do you know what their like promo picture is? Oh my gosh, it's 3 women's mouths with a snake coming out
as
and
their
they're sharing
tongues.
it.
That's pretty.
That's pretty.
Yikes. That's not okay.
Disgusting. But whatever. Castle is coming back on.
My
Revolution.
parents
Glee.
always talk about Castle, and I've
Mine
never
too.
watched it.
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah.
Bones, which is another one. Of
I watched
those
Bones.
shows.
I watched Bones all the time when it
Like
first came out.
That show.
Yes.
You know?
4 or 5 seasons, and then again, you just kind of got away from it.
Yeah.
Once the 2 main characters got together, I was like, "Well, I'm done. Thanks."
Now there's no more tension.
Yep, done.
Glee, as we've already mentioned. Once Upon a Time, can't do it.
My dad's really. I'm not a big into like theatrical stuff, and so
our
it's kind
engineer
of.
Chris is into it, and I
Yeah.
can't do it. He and his wife watch
Yeah.
it. No, not so much. Mainly because Grimm comes on like the opposite station at the same time, and I'm kind of like, it's sort of the same
thing,
show,
yeah.
right? Fairy tale gone
Yeah.
bad. Okay. Eastbound and Down's coming back.
I've never seen Eastbound and Down. I don't have.
HBO.
Yes.
Well, it's worth investigating some DVD rentals.
Yeah.
In your field, seriously, you're in
Never
baseball
seen-
and
I
you've
know.
never seen Eastbound and
I
Down.
know. Right.
It's freaking hilarious.
I know all about these things.
Once
I know
again,
about Kenny Powers,
quirky.
but
But
yeah.
and you'd like it quirky. You get it. And Sons of Anarchy. I'm just kidding.
You know,
Just had to throw that out there.
public
anyway.
service announcement.
Welcome, right? Welcome back. Hey, let me tell you my Luke Bryan story really quick.
Yes, please.
Luke Bryan was a guest host on The View the other day.
Okay.
And apparently Jenny McCarthy's the new host.
Yes,
on The View. Do you know
she
that?
is.
I didn't realize
She's
that.
the new right wing.
Elizabeth.
View.
What's her name?
Yes, View.
Yeah. Okay. So Jenny McCarthy's on there as obviously a host. I don't know if Luke Bryan was. I'm not home when The View is on. So this was a clip on there. It is. He's on there with a guy who uses Luke Bryan song lines as pickup lines
Okay.
and
yeah.
videos them.
Okay.
And basically he's been rejected every time.
Okay.
And he's made this like fortune on YouTube being the rejection guy.
This is awesome.
Using lines.
Okay.
And he just states the line.
Yeah.
I don't know a line from Luke Bryan's song, but he
Okay.
says them.
They now as you're telling me this, I'm thinking through back his songs. I'm like, oh my
could
god,
see
they
that. You
are.
could see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they bring this guy on while Luke Bryan is like a guest on the show. And they get him out of the audience and he comes up and he introduces, and they were like, well, we kind of thought Luke Bryan could give you some
Pointers.
hints
Yeah.
to this on how to make it happen. So he's telling him how to deliver the line. Like, you need to say it with power. You need to say, and he's doing the line. And they were like,
Thrusting your hips like Luke Bryan doesn't
they said,
hurt either.
You should start gyrating was the term they used.
And
gyrating.
Luke Bryan does that in his
Now,
videos.
again,
Yes.
I don't know who Luke Bryan is, except for the video where I see him with the baseball hat on, and you were like, "Oh my God, this is Luke Bryan." I don't know who he is.
Okay.
I don't remember what he was doing with his hips at that time. But they have him stand up and go and dance. I saw this clip on the internet. Okay. He goes and stands in front of the table and he starts moving.
Male stripper dancing.
Oh my gracious.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, you're a country singer.
And he does, that's what he does during his concerts.
See, and this is why, I'm okay
and he's got
with him
these
now.
teeth and these blue eyes and he's tall and the dark hair and the baseball hat and
Yeah. So this kid, this 21-year-old kid gets up beside him and he's trying to do it and it's just awkward to
not
watch.
okay.
It's funny. He's trying, bless
Yeah.
his heart. But apparently this kid's never been kissed. And this is what he's doing to get these pickup lines, is that he's going to
is Jenny McCarthy going to factor into this story?
Jenny McCarthy lays one on him when she gets delivered a line. Okay, so the funniest part of the whole thing is that they were like, hey, Luke, tell him how to deliver the line. And so the guy's saying it, and he's like, you got to do it with more power. So he does it with more power. And he's like, that's right, that's right.
Is he like talking to Jenny McCarthy? Or is it just like into a camera?
Yes.
Or
Yeah,
okay.
He's talking to the camera at first, and Luke's like, no, you got to say it like this. Then they were like, try it on Jenny McCarthy and see if this at least feels more comfortable talking to a girl. And Luke Bryan's like, okay, so one of the Sherry Shepherd.
Okay,
she says you should try it on Jenny.
Of course, Sherry Shepherd says that.
And Jenny McCarthy's kind of like, oh gosh, like, oh my gosh, here we go. And Luke Bryan looks over at the other way, and he was like, yeah, good luck, dude. She's only like the hottest woman on the planet. He was like, good luck with that. And the kid's just like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. So he starts saying this.
I really want to look
Jenny
this clip up now.
Yeah, he says this line to her, and she just in the middle of it grabs his tie and pulls him in, and makes out with the kid.
God.
Not just kissing, like kiss, like
Jenny McCarthy kiss,
making out with him. And Luke Bryan flips out. He jumps around. He's like, oh my God. And Sherry Shepherd's mouth is like on the floor. They are cracking up. It was so funny to watch this, but it was worth a repeat of the hip part.
It is unreal what he can do.
Yeah.
And his songs are,
They're good, or is he Taylor Swift?
No. They're it is. Oh, that's interesting. It's a 10 years later male version of Taylor Swift's songs. So it's coming from a dude.
Is he bad?
No. I'm sorry. Like the writing, like the artist,
okay.
like what he writes
topics.
about. Yes.
So he's talking about his ex-boyfriends too?
Yeah. Sure. Luke, if you want to call in too and talk about your ex-boyfriends, we'll more than be happy to oblige.
Oh my gosh, I would all day long talk to Luke Bryan. What the hell are you talking about? Yeah. So that's something for you to go.
Imagine
look
when
up.
he was on Chelsea Handler's show. That was
Was he really?
He was. That was.
Did
she made him feel
attack him?
uncomfortable.
Oh, I bet. Well. So now that what a hot and bothered episode. What in the world?
A little bit.
Kathryn is exuding sex appeal right now. Okay. Here's your this or that.
Okay.
Heels or sneakers?
Heels.
Really?
Yeah. Come on.
I see you in sneakers most of the time.
I would much rather be in heels.
Really?
Always.
Sneakers for me. Gosling or Reynolds?
Oh.
Speaking of sex appeal.
Reynolds.
Gosling for me.
They're both a little too pretty boy for me.
But
That's why I was like, can I have Luke Bryan?
That was not an option.
Okay.
Hangover or Bridesmaids?
Hangover. Never seen Bridesmaids.
Hangover for me as well. Nick or Schmidt?
Oh, Nick. Oh my God.
Nick for me too. But you
Nick
know
times
what? If
1,000.
I really need cocktails with somebody, I want to go with Schmidt.
Right. I'll tell you how it is.
I want to go with Schmidt
and meet
have
Nick
and have Nick bartending for us. Just like the show.
Oh my God. Just like the show.
That's what I want. I want to be Jess.
Who doesn't? Oh my God.
Hey, girl. Yeah.
What you doing?
What you doing? She's so funny. God, I can't even think about the show without giggling and hurting my cheeks.
Do you remember the one with the landlord where they were going to have a threesome with the landlord?
I mean, I think my favorite one's probably when they couldn't say the word penis.
Oh, penis.
Pinnacle.
Pianist.
And they're like, oh no, I can say it. No, I can say it.
Say it then.
Pinnacle. Panera Bread. Okay. Well, William or Harry?
Oh,
You
Harry.
haven't been on here since William became a daddy.
No, I
How
have
hot
not.
is that as he is a
Yes.
dad? That's
Yes.
You've got to admit, as much as I always pick Harry and you always pick Harry, William notches up a little
Yes.
bit when you see him being like
Responsible.
a good dad.
Yeah.
Like rolling up his
Yes.
sleeves and holding a kid.
Yeah. Hands down.
That's
And it maybe illuminates Harry's youngness a little bit more.
Agree.
So
yeah, you're kind of like, okay, that guy's a
yeah.
man.
Yeah, and you were naked in Vegas last week.
Not gonna be upset with you about it, but I'm just saying.
You know.
Oh, look at that! Look at us having fun on the show and getting all hot and bothered. Goodness gracious!
I know.
You would think there was like 6 men in here right now.
I know.
The studio windows are fogging up. What is going on? So that's what I got. That's what we're talking about,
fun.
because between twerking and Luke Bryan and Jax from Son of Anarchy, holy smokes. You've been listening to Chick Chat on the Mesh. And as a reminder, please go and check us out and send ice cubes and ice packs so we can cool down after the next episode.
Maybe a frozen margarita.
Oh, done. Be sure to check us out and all of our other shows on themesh.tv, as well as iTunes and Stitcher Radio and Facebook, wherever you want to holler at us. We're going to be there. Oh, and also on Instagram now. Find us at The Mesh TV. I post some good pictures. You know what? I'm going to take one of us with Miley. We're going to do our best Miley pose. And because I can't do twerking on the photo, but I'm going to pose like Miley. Y'all just wait. And thanks for listening. Thanks for being here, Kathryn.
You're welcome. This is
It
fun.
was super
This
fun,
was a
yeah.
great way to spend a day off. And I'm going to go get my nails done.
See, now you're going to get your nails done. We're going to hang out tonight.
I know. We're going to see each other again tonight.
All right. Well, all right, everybody. Take care. We'll catch you on the flip side.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.